Listen, really the only injury is Dana with the hamstring. So, and he'll be listed as out later today. So we look forward to the challenge of playing the Raiders, good football team. And we know that our guys have had a good week of practice, and they look forward to that challenge. We know it's important to them. It's important to us. It's a AFC West battle. So, and there's a lot of tradition behind it. Anyways, with that, time's yours.
We'll go first to Matt Derrick. Go ahead, Matt.
Hey, Coach. I'm just curious what you saw from Bashaud Breeland this week, and what do you expect him to do on Sunday?
We'll see. I thought he did a nice job. I'm just kind of – I'll talk to Spags today. We had a pretty good workload today, so I'll talk to him, see how he did, and what he thinks. But, you know, he got some work in, and he looked relatively sharp there. So, yeah.
Let's go next to Adam Teicher. Go ahead, Adam.
Hey, Andy, similar question about Chris Jones. What you saw from him in practice this week that led you to believe he's good to go, and what kind of role do you see for him on Sunday?
Yeah, well, we'll see. We'll see how he does again after today. But he's practiced every day and looked like he felt pretty good. So, but we'll check with him here and see where he's at. But it looked like he moved around pretty good, and it's good to have him back in there. We'll just see the role. I can't tell you that right now. But
Go next to Surin Petro. Go ahead, Surin.
Coach, I'm curious how much information you can actually get to the quarterback when things are going on, right? Like when you're in a hurry-up drill and that kind of thing, and the clock kicks on. What are some of the things beyond just, and I know you've talked about that there's a lot of verbiage with your plays, and so maybe some of your plays are longer with everything you've got to get in, but what other things can – get to the quarterback? Downs, is that one of the things, like specifically downs? Are you reminding him, is that one of the things that goes on there? Just what other kind of information?
yeah, I mean, sometimes there's time to get that. Sometimes there's not. You try to get as much information to them as you possibly can. Can't always get them everything, but that's there's a cutoff point to it. So you're kind of cramming everything in real quick.
Let's go next to Aaron Ladd. Go ahead, Aaron.
Coach, standout game last week for KO Osemele. It is Raiders week. I'm curious if you see a little bit of Raider in his game here in KC.
Yeah, no, listen, he's doing a nice job. So he loves to play, which I appreciate. And, I kind of look forward to seeing him, watching him do his thing. So Sunday.
Let's go next to Nate Taylor. Go ahead, Nate.
Hey, Andy, I know the first objective is to obviously have everybody come back negative for you guys to actually play the Raiders on Sunday.
Yeah.
Given what the league announced last night and this morning about the Titans and Bills situation and how that impacts your schedule, I just wonder what have been your initial plans with your coaching staff as to obviously getting through Sunday's game, but obviously keeping an eye on how your schedule may play out with the Bills? Yeah,
so we've prepared to play on Thursday, if that's the case. And then whatever happens. I'm trying to stay focused on this one. And I know the league's got to plan all that, and they let me know, but our minds are kind of right on this one here. And if we play Thursday, we play Thursday. If we play Sunday, we play Sunday. Whenever that goes, it goes. But right now we got a big task with the Raiders. So we're trying to just focus in on that.
Got time for two more. We'll go Darren and then Todd. Go ahead, Darren.
Hey, Coach, I'm just curious about your thoughts on Darren Waller. The first couple of games this year, and the team's win against the New Orleans Saints. He had a big game, but then, of course, playing up against the New England Patriots, they kind of shut him down. What are your thoughts on him and how you think you all, or what you would need to do in Sunday's game to kind of contain him in the same manner?
Yeah, the last part got kind of messed up. So I'll answer the first part. That your thing got messed up here a little bit, but he's a good football player, and we'll have to do a good job there. So I mean that's they've got a few good football players that we got to take care of too. So it'll be a good challenge for us for sure, and our guys are prepped for it, and we'll see how it goes here. Yep.
Go to Todd Lebo with the last one. Go ahead, Todd.
Hey, Coach, I know you guys have really played well against the Raiders, especially here at home, and you've done a nice job with Derek Carr. It looks like he's been performing at even a better level than he has before. It looks like he's really getting into Gruden's offense. Does he look different to you now, a couple years into this with John?
Well, listen, he's had a lot of change in his career here. So in short periods of time, in bursts, he's had a few different coaches. But John Gruden's a great football coach, and Darren's a great football player. So he is playing good, and like I mentioned, our defense has worked hard this week in preparation of that. They do a lot of unique things, and it's taking time to make sure that we get all that done.
Curious how the 4 weeks away went for you, and how soon do you think you'll be able to provide what we saw last year?
I mean, the 4 weeks, man, it was a time for me to really work on myself, put the past behind me and really focus on what I can bring to this team this year to help us get back to the Super Bowl run. Like, as far as getting in shape, it takes time to really get in football condition, but I've been working out throughout these 4 weeks, and I'm just ready to plug in whenever they're ready for me to plug in.
Go next to Herbie Teope. Go ahead, Herbie.
Hey, Bashaud, welcome back. What were your impressions of how your teammates in the cornerback room held down the fort during your absence, and were you in their ear throughout the past month, giving them tips?
Man, I was excited, like the adrenaline rush from them. I was just ready to get back to join those guys, I knew during camp that those guys were going to do something special. I knew that they had all the talent and the capability to really hold that spot down, and really prepare the team to be something great. They shocked me for what they're doing right now, but it's a long road to go, I'm just happy to be a part of so we can continue.
Let's go next to Nate Taylor. Go ahead, Nate.
Welcome back, Bashaud. I have two questions for you. Just what was it like to watch the games, not being with the guys because of obviously the COVID restrictions? And then secondly, it looks like you took up tennis during your time off. Just how much do you enjoy tennis, and what did that sort of do for you?
As far as the first question, it was a bittersweet moment. Like really not being able to be out there. So I was disappointed in myself for allowing my teams to be there without me, and really seeing what they was doing, it really cheered me up at the same time. I really watched some good football, some guys really doing some great things, and I was just excited to join back. And as far as tennis, I just picked something up. You never know how far you can go if you don't try nothing new. So it really helped me with hand-eye coordination. Like different type of movements, and it's harder than you think. I thought it would be easy, but it's really hard.
Let's go next to Surin Petro. Go ahead, Surin.
I'm curious that, you're getting back into game shape, and that's, Coach Reid said, well, we got to see, right? That they're just looking. What do you feel, right? Do you feel like you're game ready and that you're up to speed with the game plan and everything that's going on right now?
Man, I really trust my coaches and everybody in this organization to really put me in the best position for me and my career. Like I said earlier, working out, being out 4 weeks, working out. You're gonna feel in shape, as I do. But when it comes to football shape, it's a totally different thing. I've been through this scenario before, coming off of injuries and have to sit for a while and then get in a game and then have to go full tilt. And those short breaths come up pretty soon. So, but I just put my trust in my coaches and really understand that they're gonna put me in the best position possible.
Let's go next to Adam Teicher. Go ahead, Adam.
Hey, Bashaud, we've had a chance to talk to a number of the players over the offseason about the Super Bowl and the guys who have played a big role, and wanted to get your thoughts on what happened that night and what you remember about that night. Brad, I'll have one quick follow-up too.
Man, that night was so real, man. I still can't believe like that we really played in the Super Bowl and been down by those many points and really come back and gain the victory. And all I remember on that sideline, not seeing not one person hang their head in our time of need, or when we really needed somebody to go make plays. Everybody stood up and we came together. That's when I really saw the team become a unified unit, like offense, defense, special team. Everybody made the necessary plays for us to really bring that victory, and it was special.
And my other question is, now you have this 4-game suspension from the NFL that you My understanding is you recently resolved your situation in South Carolina from the incident at the gas station. Are you expecting any more of a penalty from the NFL at any point?
As of right now, man, I'm really focused on the future and the present. As of right now, all I know that the past is behind me, and I'm just ready to get forward to get with my teammates and start winning football games.
Got time for a couple more. We'll go Harold and then Steve. Go ahead, Harold.
Hey, Breezy. So I saw you over at Lincoln Prep the other day, so I know you've been helping out there. And then also I know you're into the your music as well. How much of those two combined forces while you've been off have been an outlet for you to kind of just deal with the fact that you've been away from your team?
Oh, they were mainly my outlets. You know what I mean? Being around the kids in Lincoln Prep, you know what I mean? It's like a brotherhood, you know what I mean? It reminded me of the locker room here. The younger guys, you know what I mean? They look up to me, you know what I mean? And I look up to them as well, you know what I mean? Seeing the things that they do out there and the grind that they put in and day out, you know what I mean? Like, it was a joyful moment for me to really cope with what I had going on in my situation, you know what I mean? And I just want to show them lessons, you know what I mean? Like, you don't have to let your mistakes define you.
All right. We'll start with Aaron Ladd. Go ahead, Aaron.
Travis, there was a point in the game when y'all are trying to run some clock out, and Clyde has an option of either going out of bounds and staying in bounds, and it was a really mature play for a rookie. I'm curious if that's coming from Andy, if it's coming from the sideline, if it's coming from Pat. What does that look like?
It's coming from the culture that Coach Reid has set in place, and you can throw Coach Eric Bieniemy in that as well. Just harping on specific situations throughout the game that could happen, and we practice these all the time. Coach Bieniemy goes over them every single week, and just executing the plays like we have practiced. And Clyde did a great job of that.
Let's go next to Todd Levo. Go ahead, Todd.
Hey, Travis, we've seen, more COVID outbreaks and stuff like that happening around the league. People got a little freaked out when they saw Gilmore, talking to Pat after the game. Have you been thinking about this stuff more? Like after the game, you always try to talk to guys and congratulate them and stuff like that. Are you going to try to maybe just head to the tunnel? Is this stuff on your guys' mind?
Yeah, I mean, I think that's probably the safest way to do it. I think Nick Foles did it last night. At least I thought he mentioned that in the interview after. I think it's just the smart thing to do to just, keep it moving. And, you can always shoot a guy a text or give a guy a call and let him know how much you respect him and things like that. But I think for the most part, just keeping your distance as much as you can and doing all the precautions throughout the facility so that, stuff doesn't just happen, knowing that it's hard to stop, man.
Let's go next to Adam Teicher. Go ahead, Adam.
Hey, Travis, I remember talking to you when camp first started, and you were talking about how optimistic you were because of the protocols that were in place. You had just seen all the protocols that the Chiefs and the NFL had put in place. Are you still as confident as you were back then about where this is headed, number one? And number two, it's your job, I know, to play no matter when the game is, to be ready to go and play a good game. But is that so easy to do when games are moving around on you and you don't know when kickoff is going to be?
Yeah. When I mentioned that back in training camp, we hadn't had one test that really came back positive. So, I mean, I'd be silly to say that the bar hasn't gone up since all these breakouts have happened. I mean, you just have to make sure that you're doing the right things and trying to take everybody into accountability. Not just you're not just doing it for the guys on this team. You're doing it for the guys league wide. And it's unfortunate what's been going on, but hopefully everybody realizes again how serious this matter is and how fast this bug can spread. And dealing with the week in, week out, not really knowing when to play if a guy does test positive, knowing that our Thursday game next week just got pushed. You just got to roll with the punches. We were kind of fortunate to have our game only pushed back last week one day. And with that, it was still a little bit different of a game day preparation and things like that. So it's just, you got to kind of roll with the punches. It's the life we're living right now with COVID being out here in the world.
Let's go next to Karen Kornacki. Go ahead, Karen.
Hi, Travis. Because of all of this stuff we've been talking about, do you still see the Raiders as a rival? I mean, years ago, it used to be Raider Hater Week, and now we're just worried when you're going to play.
Yeah, the Raiders are always going to be a rival. We know the history. We know the rivalry that was built upon, the Chiefs and Raiders ever since, football was started. So I think that it just amps up every single year, knowing that they got players, they got great coaches over there, and they've had some success this year. And so we know that we always have to bring it against all our rivals and everybody in the division. I consider a rival. So.
Got time for a couple more guys. We're going to go Herbie and then Pete Sweeney. Go ahead, Herbie.
Hey, Travis, good to see you. As a quick follow-up to Todd Lebo's question on going straight into the tunnel, is this something that the team talked about, or is this a personal choice that you're going to start probably incorporating this week?
It's just a personal choice.
Okay.
Let's go next to Pete Sweeney. Go ahead, Pete.
Trav, we've seen in the NFL between kickers and quarterbacks and pass rushers, there's kind of this fraternity. And I was wondering if that sort of exists between the athletic tight ends, maybe like you and Kittle from the Super Bowl. And then sort of a follow-up to that, how much of your game do you see in what Darren Waller is able to do?
Yeah, I mean, Darren Waller's he's taking the league by storm right now. Kind of a guy that made the transition from wide out to tight end. I'm always rooting for the guys that make the transition, man, because I know how difficult that can be, and I know how much work you really got to put in, knowing that everybody else has had a few years ahead of you doing it. So it's just reps make you better at this. You know, it is what it is. So the fact that he made that transition, he's having as much success now that he is, you know, is pretty impressive. But as a fraternity, I'm always rooting for the tight ends, man. I saw my guy Jimmy Graham get a one-handed catch last night. I got all fired up. And then the Green Bay, the new guy coming on the scene out there in Green Bay that I know is Kittle's boy. He's out there putting his footprint in the sand. So it's cool to see everybody kind of rally around the tight end group, knowing how important this is to football.